In this video we're going to go through the process of installing VoIP.Master onto a hard disk on a laptop. In other words, a permanent installation of the software. Now, to install the software onto a laptop, you should have been sent a link to an ISO file that you need to download and burn onto a CD or DVD. Once you have burnt this ISO image onto a DVD or CD, then you need to boot the laptop from the CD drive with the CD that you've burnt installed. And once it boots up, you should see a display similar to that on the screen. Now, when you see that display, you need to press the Enter key or any key, and a window should pop up like that displayed, asking you to select the language that you want. So select the language that you want to use for the installation and then press Enter. And then you can use the menu to scroll down to Install Ubuntu, and once again then press Enter. Now once you press Enter, the machine will boot off the CD and you will then get a Ubuntu display come up like that on the screen. Now once again you can select the language you want to install, so either use English, or if there's another option, choose that and press Continue. Now at this stage the screen will tell you it's preparing to install Ubuntu. It will make some checks to make sure you've got enough disk space or whether you're connected to the internet, etc. It's not necessary to be connected to the internet, but it can help. No need to select anything here. Don't select the download updates or anything else, just press Continue. And then the next thing you'll see on the screen is about the installation type. Now you want to erase the whole disk and install Ubuntu, which is the top selection, so make sure that's selected and then press Continue. Now you'll then get a message just confirming that you want to make those changes to the disk, so just say yes. And then the next thing we need to do is select the time zone for the installation. Now in my example I'm selecting London, but you can click anywhere on the map and select a different time zone if you'd like. Once you've done that, it will then ask you what keyboard layout you want to use. Now once again I'm using English keyboard layout, but you can choose another type if you so wish. Now the next thing you need to do is enter a user for the Ubuntu setup. What we want to do is enter testbook, lowercase, in all of the fields. So testbook in the first field, delete that and put testbook, username testbook, password want to put testbook, as well as confirm your password testbook. It will give you a message that you've got a weak password, but don't worry about that because we're going to select login automatically below that by clicking on that button and then press Continue. Now as soon as we press Continue, the software will start to be installed onto the hard disk on the machine. Now, this can take some while, and you'll see a progress bar on the screen like the one displayed that shows you that you're copying files, and this, like I said, can take a few minutes before it is completed. Now, once the copying files has finished, then it will start to install the system onto the hard disk, and once again this can take a few minutes as well. So you just have to watch the progress bar on the screen until the whole process is finished. Once the installation has been completed, you'll see a screen like that on displayed saying it's now completed, installation is completed. So click on the Restart Now, and this will close down the Ubuntu. You then should see a display like the one on the screen. Basically, the CD media should have been ejected out of the CD tray, so you can take that out, close it the tray if you like, and then you need to press Enter. This should then close down Ubuntu completely. We can then restart Ubuntu, and this time Ubuntu should boot off the hard disk where the software has been installed. Now once it's booted, you should see the standard Ubuntu desktop like displayed here. One thing we often do is go to the system settings and change the screen appearance, go to the appearance, then click on behavior and select auto hide the launcher off. This just means that the launcher, the software launcher, is always displayed on the left hand side of the screen. If you've got a large enough display, this is quite fine to do this. Then we can double click on the VoIP.Master launcher, say yes, we want to configure the network. We need to make sure we're connected to the network, and then VoIP.Master will update the latest software onto the machine from the server. So to finish updating, we just click OK. We can restart the application once again, and now we should get the VoIP.Master registration import license screen. This is where we can register the software in order to get a license to run on this particular hardware. Once we've got that license, we can then import it into the machine. So basically the software is now installed onto the laptop. There is one thing we can do. We can just close down, exit this VoIP.Master welcome screen, and by pressing Control-Alt-T on your keyboard, Control-Alt-T, we can bring up the terminal. Now what we want to do here is just want to type in enable-Wireshark, as it's being displayed on the screen here, and just press enter. This will then bring up a box about configuring Wireshark Common. We'll make sure yes is selected, then press enter, and then we can just close that terminal down. Now what that has done is it's enabled the interfaces on the machine to be viewed by Wireshark. So now we can, for example, we can see Ethernet 0, which is our main Ethernet interface. If we just start that, then Wireshark can start to monitor packets. So we're just going to close Wireshark down, exit the application, and that's it. Effectively, the software, it has been installed onto the hard drive of the machine and will boot from the hard drive of the machine every time. As I say, you do need to go through the VoIP.Master application and register the software, because the license is tied to the hardware that the software is running on.